Good evening, Eamon here from Ashdown Farm. On the 21st of January, we're just down here. It's milking time on the farm. The cows are being milked. Matthew's doing the milking this evening. Kenneth just happens to be away today at a meeting. And I said I'd pop on just to keep me up to speed of what's happening on the farm. Yesterday we scanned all the cows and Heifers to see how many of them were in calf. We were going into about 6 weeks AI in at this stage, and we said it was time to scan a lot of them. So we're very happy with our cubicles, empty cubicles there with our all the cows are up for milking, and some of them are coming down there, some of them are lying down, but the most of them are up in the yard, and some of them are out eating. Yeah, but to come back to where we were, we scanned over 54 or 5 animals, and we're very pleased. We got something like 72 or 3% of the heifers held to their first service. There's the heifers across, some of the heifers there across the way, and the cows was a little higher, which is unusual for the cows, but our EBI has really improved in the herd. That's the index, the breeding index, and we've bred a lot for the last good few years for fertility, and we have increased the fertility of the cows a lot over the last good few years. It was a program that we adopted. We went to increase the fertility and the fat and protein, and we're certainly getting the results, and it's paying off now. The John Deere's in there ready to push in a bit of silage now whenever we're have a few more jobs to do to feed a few calves. We talked the last time about our new breed of a calf, our Rama goalie. Grand calf doing okay, well, he's doing fine, but he's a very slow drinker. Not the best drinker in the world. You have to have patience, you have to stand with him and that, but he's doing well. But coming back to the cows and the heifers, we're very happy with 4 heifers that's not in calf, but 2 of them, that's one of them there today, one of them there now. She's for AI in the morning, and the other one was AI'd this morning, and she'll be tomorrow morning. What we have done was we have given them a shot of estimate. It has to just bring them in if they're a little bit further on to get them calving at a more suitable time, and it just helps their fertility. But they have to be very fertile before you bother your head using estimate. It won't improve a cow that's not, or a heifer that's not fertile. So these are 2 little heifers. There's 4 of those. They're kind of oddballs, and they'll be carried over the summer, and they'll be AI'd next December, calving in September 24. Yeah, 24. So listen, that's where we are on the farm, where the cows are milking well. We have a little issue with somatic cell count. It's another one we're working through at the minute, and there's always, with winter milk and always with dairy cows, there's always some little bits of issues, but that's what makes it challenging. And I suppose this video is mainly, as I was talking about retirement and semi-retirement, and handing over the farm to Kenneth, which I find, I suppose, being the farm, that I'm probably somewhat lucky that I don't have to walk away from it completely, not as if you're working in the guards or a teacher or whatever else. I can still do a certain amount of work. Yeah, the winter time is going to be busy for me going forward. Summertime I'll have more time to do my own stuff and maybe travel a bit and do whatever bits and pieces I want to do, and do more YouTube videos and that. But what I'm saying is retirement. It's very important to stay active, and I talked about this whole transition, signing it over as well, which I'll do another video on that. But I just said this evening, I'll just hop on to just say, look, even that Kenneth is probably the main man on the farm here at the minute, that I'm somewhat maybe semi-retired, but I'm out and about, and it's absolutely brilliant. It keeps you probably young and fit, and it keeps you having an interest in it. And having said that, my probably interest is probably not as strong as it was 30, 40 years ago. And, it shouldn't be. I still love farming, love the dairy, love the cows. But Kenneth is making all the business decisions now with consultation with me. But having said that, look, at this stage, he's down to a fine art. And the most stuff he's just makes decisions, and they're done at this stage, and he knows his breeding program, he knows where he wants to get to, and we have a kind of a strategy set out on the farm where we want to get to. But it's the whole thing about planning and sitting down, and this retirement is something you need to plan and sit down. You just don't want to wake up some morning with absolutely nothing to do. I was speaking with a couple of lads yesterday that went through financial trouble. There were business people overborrowed, stretched themselves, and they felt that the last 10 years they were dealing with the bank and dealing with all the creditors and all the rest has took their toll on them. And as one of them said, we're in a rut now, and we're getting very hard to get out of it. Don't let yourself get into a rut, because if you do, you'll be quite relaxed. You get into a rut and you'll be happy in that rut. And you'll wake up someday realising that you've lost another 10 years. If the banks have stolen 10 years off your life because you're overborrowed and because of credit squeeze and all that, not necessarily blaming the banks. We all made decisions, and we will have to take responsibility for our decisions. If it took 10 years or part of that 10 years of your life, don't let it take the next 10. Make bloody sure that you move on from that and say, right, what has happened. You lost what you lost, but you have gained. What have you gained? You've gained a huge amount of knowledge. You've gained such experience, you've gained such strength that you're able to come through it. So do not let the banks or that crisis steal another 10 years. Get back your life. Get out, get moving, and see how you can live your life to the fullest. My son with Down syndrome, he's always putting up YouTube videos, and you want to listen to him. He has Down syndrome. He gets on with his work. He's working, he's involved in politics, he's swimming, he's dancing, he's up tomorrow night above dance with Dancing with the Stars. And he's going to himself and Eleanor, his dance partner, is going to do a dance before it above. Seemingly, they can do that before it's been televised. To bring people up, you kind of have to apply for it. And Nessa, the girl that teaches him the dancing, she runs Barn Door over there near outside Delvin, a very, very good woman that does so much work for people with special needs and runs a brilliant studio over there at Barn Door. And anybody that you should just look her up, she's very, very good, full of life. And she organised tickets for them and organised that they can dance above on the same stage pre the television being televised tomorrow night. He has Down syndrome. He's not letting that stop him. So why should we if we had trouble with financial trouble, or you had marital trouble, or you had health trouble, don't let that define the rest of your life. Get on, get out and do it. And make bloody sure that when you look back in 10 years' time, you have done what you wanted to do in life. You got on with it, and you made a contribution, and you made your life worthwhile. I found out last couple of weeks ago when I went out on my travels that put up the video out to Yerevan in Armenia. The huge experience, a complete different part of the world than here, different views on that. People live probably somewhat the same, but they have a different view. They came out of a communist regime 20-25 years ago. Now they're watching out, they're afraid of the war, they're nervous, they're withdrawn a bit. But for us not to be withdrawn, we are living in a very free country. We're living in a beautiful part of the world with beautiful strength. You're a beautiful soul ourselves. You're a beautiful soul that's listening to this. Go and do what you can do. And do it with all your heart and all your might. And the day that you have done a good day's work and you have poured it on, you have done your best, and I guarantee you that's the happiest day of your life. Eamon from Ashdown Farm, signing off with another video. And thanks a million for all the people that support me. The last one I went up, I got a huge amount of support on it, huge amount of likes. I as I said before, that I want to multiply my viewership this year, and so far it's looking very, very good. So please subscribe, share with your friends, pass it among your friends, and because I can still put up a lot of useful content and entertainment, and you keep me up to speed on what's happening on Ashdown Farm. Now I want to go and feed the calves. Matthew's up near finished milking, and tonight as well I'm going to my father-in-law's first anniversary mass. He lived till he was 93, and he had a nice quiet retirement, but I felt always that he could have done a lot more, because he was perfectly healthy and all the rest, but he chose to live it that way, and maybe he's happy. But let's us pour it on, live a full life, go out and enjoy it. Eamon from Ashdown Farm, signing off.